time where we get to look dead ahead to see what's coming on next week's episode of The Walking Dead. Today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 11, called The Distance. What did you guys think of all the promos for this? I think it's safe to say that the filler episode that we saw last week is no longer. I think this episode 11 is going to be pretty action-packed to me. And I say filler, quote unquote, because that's not what I think that episode was at all. But to talk about the promotional trailers for episode 11, I think we're going to see a lot of action. The group has captured, taken hostage, whatever you want to say, Aaron, this brand new character that we don't really know too much about. And they are very, very suspicious because in going through his bag, they find a flare gun that tells Rick that there are other people around. So he's not by himself because he knows that he's going to need the flare gun to signal his friends. He also finds pictures of a wall that is a big wall with boards and wood, whatever, propping it up to keep it sturdy. So I'm gonna probably include quite a few comic spoilers in this predictions video. So if you're not up to date on the comics, you probably should not watch this if you don't want to be spoiled. Now, obviously we know that not everything plays out in the comics the same as it does on the TV, but I think it's safe to say that the writers are following a pretty straight course that parallels the comics quite a bit, way more than they used to. So I think it's safe to say we will see a lot of the same kind of sequences that we do in the comics in the next few episodes. So, starting with the comic spoilers now, those of us who have read know that Aaron is one of the good guys from Alexandria Safe Zone. So he is out scouting for new people. And he's been watching Rick's group, and that's why he knows Rick's name. He probably knows everyone that is in the group because he's probably been watching them a while. He offered them a gift of water, which they were pretty skeptical of. And I don't quite think that Aaron knows just what Rick's group has been through. So he doesn't know about Terminus or the fact that the last safe place that they found was actually a human meat factory. So Rick's group is going to be really skeptical of this guy, and I don't think they're going to trust him at all this entire episode. So we see, Rick's on high alert. He's asking if anybody sees anything. Glenn's looking out the barn, slats in the barn, says just a lot of places to hide. They know that there's another group out there. They question Aaron as to how many people are with him, and he says, does it really matter because you're not going to trust me anyways. So there is a scene where we see them and it looks like they might be in some kind of store. They're definitely not in the barn anymore, but the group is there. Aaron is right up front, the camera's on him, and he says, you can trust me. And then it flashes to Rick and he says, what does he say? We don't know you. And obviously we don't know if the scene all plays out together because they like to splice the scenes together and make it look like our characters are saying stuff that they're actually not saying, or, that didn't happen at the same time. But it does look like they at least follow Aaron somewhere because I'm pretty sure that scene is not in the barn. It looks like there's an actual door behind them, like for a store. It looks like there might be shelves. They're in an actual building. We see Maggie, Abraham, Glenn, and Rosita out on the road. It looks like they're scouting. They have their guns up. They're looking for probably Aaron's other people. We see Abraham at one point go into what I think is a trailer and inspect inside the trailer. So it looks like they're kind of trying to find a clue as to where the rest of Aaron's people are out there. We hear a lot of commentary from Rick. It's very fast-paced, where he says, this is a trap, and you see him in the car with Glenn, and he says, this isn't safe. And it's at night, and I'm pretty sure that these are the scenes where the big, huge walker herd comes down on them. And we don't know how now, because originally we thought this had to do with the barn and them escaping the walkers at the barn. But apparently this is an entirely different scenario. Somehow Rick thinks it's a trap, isn't safe. And we see Glenn get out of the car. He's running in, I guess, cornfield, something like that. And he shoots his gun, and this is a new scene. He brings his arm back, and there's a walker right behind him just about to bite his arm. So it's going to be really nerve-wracking. I highly doubt they're going to kill anybody off at this point for a little while, but you never know. I didn't think they were going to kill off Tyrese in the very first episode of the second half, but they did, so we never know. Glenn could be a goner. I don't think he is, but it would be just like them to surprise us with that too. But you hear Rick saying, we need eyes in every direction. Glenn's on foot. We don't know. And Rick is saying, we don't know how or when, but they're coming for us. So, who's coming for us? The walkers? The way he says that sentence makes it sound like he's probably freaked out that Aaron's group is coming for them. I don't know if we'll see the scavengers appear in this episode or not. I think it's gotta have a lot to do with Aaron's group and trying to figure out whether or not they can trust him, and then a ton of walkers, and perhaps Aaron is leading them somewhere and then they're overcome with walkers and they think it's a trap that Aaron set. We don't know. All we know is our group doesn't trust anyone right now, and I'm really excited to see what this next episode holds for us, because it's going to be super fast-paced, tons of action, ramming the walker herd with their car. I mean, it's going to be incredible. So what do you guys think? What are your predictions? Let me know in the comments below. I haven't heard any spoilers for this next episode, so I don't really have too much to go on here. Just what we've seen in the comics, and in the comics, Aaron eventually leads the group to Alexandria, and I can't remember quite how that all plays out because I haven't read that portion of the comics in a while. So it's kind of hard for me to really predict based off of that, but I do know that Aaron's a good guy, and I think that hopefully he'll find some way to prove to Rick that he's a good guy, and then we'll get to see them go to Alexandria. We know that's going to happen. That's a spoiler that's already been leaked because they've built the Alexandria set, and we know that's coming eventually here, so that'll be really interesting to see how our group, who has been on the road for so long and are so untrusting of anybody, how they're going to fit into this neat little happy society that they have going on. So that is it for this video. Can't wait for the next episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see